Many executives living with type 2 diabetes struggle with constant fatigue and poor focus, mainly because they're eating way less than their bodies need. They view food as an enemy of health. But here's the truth: the right food in the right amounts is medicine. For nearly a decade, I've used a simple 7-step framework to help high performers sustainably achieve normal blood sugar levels, boost energy, and lose stubborn belly fat without starving or using quick fixes like meds or juicing. I call it the Eat to Burn framework. You can remember it by the acronym Eat Burn. So let's dive into it. The first letter is E. E stands for eat. Eat on purpose. Your body needs consistent energy to function well. Many people who are overweight say, "I don't feel hungry during the day." That's because their hunger hormones aren't working properly, and therefore their bodies don't respond well to signals of hunger. Such people cannot rely on hunger signals to tell them when to eat, at least until they lose fat and get leaner. Eat intentionally, not emotionally or reactively. Think of healthy meals like a medical prescription. You wouldn't skip antibiotics just because you don't want to take them, would you? No, you wouldn't. Consistent, well-timed meals help to boost your metabolism and restore your sensitivity to hunger. The next letter is A. A stands for avoid. Avoid sugar and alcohol. Avoid alcohol and sugar-rich foods, especially sugar-sweetened beverages like sodas, sweet teas, and juices, including fresh juice. Intake of alcohol and sugar, even natural sugar, leads to buildup of visceral fat, which causes insulin resistance, which can lead to spikes in your blood sugar and pressure and abnormal levels of cholesterol. If you really want fruit, then eat it. Don't drink the juice. T stands for target. Target protein and healthy fats. Prioritize protein, for example, eggs, fish, and chicken, and healthy fats, for example, avocado, at the start and then at the end of your day. This will help to improve your insulin sensitivity and create an ideal environment to build muscle and burn fat. B stands for better. Make better carb choices. Not all carbohydrates are created equal. Should you choose to eat carbohydrates, then avoid flour-based foods, as these can spike insulin and cause insulin resistance. Instead, opt for those which are rich in fiber, for example, legumes like beans and peas, certain starches like sweet potatoes and yams, or whole grains like brown rice or whole wheat. And here's a tip: to avoid overeating, choose one carb source per meal. It will be easier for you to monitor your portions. U stands for upgrade. Upgrade your snacks. If you really must snack, opt for protein-rich foods. Avoid carbs. Each snack should contribute to boosting your metabolism, not hindering it. R stands for review. Review and track your progress. Burning fat is the most effective way to improve your insulin sensitivity and lower your blood sugar levels. However, depending on a weighing scale to track your fat loss isn't the best approach. Why? A drop in weight could mean that you've lost a significant amount of fat, which is good, but it could also mean that you've lost a significant amount of muscle, which is bad. On the other hand, an increase in weight can mean that you've gained fat, which is bad, but it could also mean that you've gained a significant amount of muscle, which normally results in sustainable fat loss, which is good. Therefore, when helping my clients, I focus more on tracking their actual fat mass, visceral fat levels, and muscle mass. Where this isn't possible, I recommend tracking your waist size or how clothes fit at your waist instead of just relying on the weighing scale. If your waist size reduces, you can be pretty sure that it's because you've lost fat, not muscle. The last letter is N. N stands for nourish. Nourish, don't starve. Consistently eating too little causes muscle loss, slows down your metabolism, and makes sustainable fat loss difficult or even impossible. After creating hundreds of personalized meal plans for my clients, plans that don't simply address the right type of food, but also the right amount of food, I've noticed one basic thing. When someone routinely eats less than 3 meals per day, they're simply not eating enough. Think of it this way. If you have one company which has, say, 10 employees, and then you have another company of similar magnitude and brand that has 40 employees, so that is 4 times more than the first company, which of those companies would probably have a bigger budget for staff salaries? The company with 10 or the company with 40 employees? Surely it's the one with 40 employees. It's the same thing here. If you have a 40-year-old man who is 70 kilograms versus another 40-year-old man of the same gender, same race, and everything who is 100 kilograms, the person who is 100 kilograms needs more food to sustain their function. Therefore, if you want to start eating less food, start losing the weight fast. And many times to lose that weight, you need to eat more. I know. It's something which confuses many of my clients. But when they simply stick to the plan that I give them and they start eating more than they were eating, of course, the right food, they find themselves losing weight and they wonder, how on earth am I losing fat and building muscle by eating more? And what I simply tell them is, yes, it's because weight loss isn't just about eating less and burning more. It's about balancing your hormones. So what about fasting? Fasting can be beneficial, but it has to be done right. You have to take special precaution to how much food and what types of food you eat when you break your fast. So how much fat can you expect to lose if you follow this simple 7-step framework? Well, clients who consistently follow this framework find themselves losing anything between 0.5 to 1.5 kilograms of fat per week until their goal. All this while building muscle and boosting their strength. Remember, don't simply eat less. Eat smart. Eat to burn. Eating the right food is the first step to burning stubborn belly fat, and as a result, taking control of your blood sugar, pressure, and cholesterol. The next and equally important step is boosting your recovery. So click the thumbnail right about here to learn how to do so. Speak soon.